Hello, it's Ruby Burrito, and welcome to today's video. I wanted to take some time to talk about how everybody can make a little bit more gold in Guild Wars, how you should maximize your time, what you can do every day to make more gold, things like that. What I'm going to start with here is the three most useful sources, aka websites, that I use to help me make gold. I have 3,000 plus hours in the game. Let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. 3,745 hours I've been playing since launch, which means I have 11 almost years of experience. So hopefully I can share some of that knowledge and some other people can share theirs in the comments. So first things first, let's talk about the wiki. So the wiki is a fan-made and fan-run, but ArenaNet supported source. So you can find just about everything here. There's not much that you can't find, and it's very impressive. All of these things, I've actually gone to something called wiki project / on wiki of gold, something that maybe a lot of people haven't seen. So players have donated 1,934 gold to this project, and ArenaNet has donated 10,606 plus gold, as well as over 61,000 gems, and actually almost 20,000 gems have been given by people in the community. So what this is a way for them to track who has helped put what on the wiki. So if you contribute, edit to either article, then you get 2 gold. Every person can get those 2 gold once per set. There's a lot of rules and regulations, but the idea is that this is community run and driven. You will see content updates all the time. You can see the current updates here. All of the most recent news and updates are going to be here. The current release is Dragon Bash, so this is set up properly. So something that I use this for quite often is if I just go to legendaries. It'll give me a, oh hey, you should go to legendary weapon. If you want to see how to make all of the legendary weapons, Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3, they're here. What about the Gen 3 variants? They're right here. So if you are looking for information as to how to do something, the wiki is great. The next one that I'm going to talk about is Fast. Fast is, again, a community-driven website that is run by a guild. You can go to their Twitch. You can become a patron. They've got quite a bit of ways to support them. They're very, very wonderful. They've done so much to help the community. And you can find information here for farming. So, for example, if we look at open world farming over here, you can, for example, if I want to know what I can do to maximize my fishing, well, I just go to Domain Corna. I use this bait, Scorpion. I need this much fishing power. It takes an hour and 50 minutes. You get 28 gold per hour, 51 gold total. So solo farming is one of the things that I'm going to focus on here. You can see the search for buried treasure profit per hour is 63 gold. The Taco Tekit Sunken Treasure Hunter Farm is 62 gold. So there's 2 ways to look at this. There's profit and there's profit per hour, because of the duration. Before we dive into all of that, the last resource is going to be Guild Wars 2 efficiency. Talked about this a ton on the channel. If you want to know what your account is worth, you come here. For example, you can see when I made all the Gen 1 legendaries at the same time. I jumped in 20,000 gold worth of value. You can look at your stats. You can see how you stack up to everybody else. It's pretty cool. And I've seen that more and more people have been using it. This number here, there's 414,982 people using it. That's how many accounts there are. And it used to be under 400,000. So at least 14,000 in probably the last year have signed up for an account on efficiency. So that's awesome. You can also support them. They do some really cool stuff. They do a lottery once a month. So pretty cool stuff there. So those are going to be the resources. Now what I want to talk about is what can you do every day to maximize your gold? So we're going to start from having the least amount of time possible. My number one suggestion is going to be daily login characters. If you go back to the Fast, you look at the Fast website, you go to the solo farming is great, but there's also alt parking. If we take a look at the alt parking, it's just a gold, but it takes seconds. So these are things, you're really just limited by how fast you can load onto the characters. So that's the very first thing that I would suggest is you come to this page. There's going to be a link down in the description. You find what you can do for account alt parking. You can see how many you can do per day. This is per account. The first one that's per character is the Domain of Corner Arcjock Farmlands. I've done that quite a few times. I spent a lot of time doing that one. They even tell you what... if you go to, we'll go to the Arcjock Farmlands because that's what you should do. They even tell you what the best choice of gathering tool is. So that's going to be the sickle with a bounty attached to it. That is going to be the bounty glyph, sorry. So I have 20 out of 21 characters in use. Right now, all these level 21s are in Lion's Arch. They're at the end of a jumping puzzle. What I used to have was a whole bunch of characters in South Sun Cove sitting at the end of another jumping puzzle. Again, I said Arcjock Farmlands. That one takes longer, so when you have 20 characters like me, it's a little bit easier for me to just do the 5-second one where I log in and open a chest. So I would suggest picking from that list what it is you want to do and figure out what fits best for you. Next is going to be metas, of course. You can do a whole bunch of different metas. Again, it tells you the profit per hour, how much time it takes. For example, the greatest profit per hour is also a 2-minute long event. So fishing is a great way for more consistent gold because it's much longer. So there's definitely a lot of information here. Another one that I would like to point out, because we're currently in Dragon Bash, is the festivals. So you can see there's a weekly vendor here that tells you what you should and should not buy with Jawbreakers. It tells you how much profit you can make from the Dragon Bash arena. The same thing is going to be with Halloween. It's much more profitable in Halloween. Winter's Day has much more that you can do, a little bit less profitable. So that's going to be the first thing that I would say is look at the alt parking. And then, for example, look at metas or solo farming. Do what you see there and figure that out. Figure out what works best for you. Another way that you can make gold, for example, is I have this Necro in Malcor's Leap. This one might be listed somewhere, but if you've hopped into my streams, you'll know that I'm trying to finish up a bunch of stuff on my account. One of those things is the Treasure Hunter achievement. To finish that off, you need to get an item that is a very rare drop from the Eye of Zaitan that spawns in there. That's another way to maximize your time. It's similar to the alt parking that I was talking about earlier, but it's not necessarily to get gold every day, but it's to be able to check on events. So I could see that the event's not up, so now I can just log out. I don't have to waypoint. If waypointing is only a couple silver, but the more you do it, the more it adds up. And that's another thing to keep in mind, is try to leave characters in spots if you can. I do a lot of waypointing. I have a lot of characters, but I spend a lot of my time on Ruby Burrito right now, and he does a lot of moving around. This character is here for the Ogre Wars meta, so I won't need to have anybody waypoint, so I can do that because it's, again, for the same Treasure Hunter achievement. Another thing that you should do per day... I'm getting attacked by my cat. There's another section, if you have more time to play, that's not going to be metas. It's going to be in the achievements. So first off, there's the regular daily achievements. You can see here, I got my daily completionist. There's achievement points, there's spirit shards, and there's straight up 2 gold. Those are great. Another thing that you can do is the weekly World v World that they recently added. And that'll give you straight up 8 gold. You might be looking at this and say, what did you actually do? I played PvP and I played World v World. I do about 1 game of PvP a day so that I can get progress towards my dailies. And if you look at this, the Fallen Hero chest gives you progress towards reward tracks. The best way to maximize your time in PvP and World v World is to spread it out day by day. Get the daily rewards, the reward track. So if we go to the character that I take into PvP, he's going to have a bunch of these potions. And then I can use them. And each one, for example, in World v World, each one of these potions you get for the World v World version is going to be about 5 minutes of gameplay. So if these were all World v World, we're talking 100 minutes of gameplay, which is over an hour and a half worth of rewards that I just get to double click and receive. Doesn't quite work the same way for PvP because it's in matches instead of just constantly progressing. But there's also, again, on Fast, you can see which ones of these are the most profitable to get, and you can slowly make progress on that. And if you're queued up, you can go fishing or do metas. This character is right here because I want to get the Demolisher. So I guess I would say the biggest takeaways are going to be pick a PvP character, pick a World v World character, do those dailies. Find alt parking characters, because for both of those, you can leave them in a specific spot, like this character is. Ruby Burrito's a little different, but I play quite a bit, so he moves around. Leave them someplace where you can gain something, whether it's finishing an event, opening a chest, getting some sort of good. And log into all your characters every day. You, of course, I've done a video about having alt accounts, and that is a great way to make gold as well. But if you just have the one account and you want to maximize the gold from each of your characters, you should definitely plan out what each character does, because each character can give you gold every single day. I know that was a lot of information. If you have questions, feel free to ask them down below in the comments. I would love to answer them. I have changed what I do on a daily basis quite frequently. Like I said, I used to have characters at the end of jumping puzzles. Now I've moved them. For example, this character's in Malcor's Leap because there was an event there that I needed. So there's a lot of other ways to do it that's not just alt parking at the end of a jumping puzzle. So keep that in mind. Figure out what it is you want, whether it's legendaries or achievements. Speaking of achievements, the more achievement points you get, the more gold you can get from playing the game. I had almost forgotten about this. This will be the last thing that I touch on. I'll let this guy die. If we go to achievements and we scroll down, I have 133% gold find. I have 187% magic find, 27% XP bonus, and 18% karma gain. The more you do your logins and the more achievements you do, you can see here, XP bonus plus 1%. Magic find, karma, XP bonus boost. The more achievements you do, the more boosts you get to your account. And those are helpful because experience turns into spirit shards. Spirit shards can be turned into gold. So with that pretty much wraps up everything that I have to say. I want to finish this off by saying thank you so much, guys, for all of the support. I really appreciate it. I love getting to talk to you guys. I will be actually streaming right after this goes live. So if you have questions, you can also just come say hi in chat and ask them there. I'd love to answer them. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. Take care.